我现在宣布安全理事会第6497次会议开始。本次会议的临时议程是阿富汗局势。如没人反对，我就认为议程获得通过。议程通过。按照安理会暂行议事规则第37条，我邀请阿富汗、加拿大、伊朗伊斯兰共和国、意大利、日本、新西兰、挪威、巴基斯坦、土耳其和澳大利亚代表参加本次会议。按照安理会暂行议事规则第39条，我邀请秘书长特别代表兼联合国阿富汗援助团团长斯塔凡·德米斯图拉先生参加本次会议。按照安理会暂行议事规则第39条，我邀请欧洲联盟驻联合国代表团代理团长佩德罗·萨拉诺先生阁下参加本次会议。安理会现在开始审议议程项目2。我提醒安理会成员注意 S/2011/120号文件及秘书长关于阿富汗局势及其对国际和平与安全的影响的报告，以及 S/2011/118号文件及2011年3月4日阿富汗常驻代表团给秘书长的普通照会，转递2011年3月1日阿富汗外交部长给秘书长的信。我现在请斯塔凡·德米斯图拉先生发言。
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished members of the Security Council. May I make a special request before I start talking? This year is the 10th year after the heavy engagement of many countries of the UN in Afghanistan. In a few days, the President Karzai is going to formally announce areas which will be moving on to Afghan ownership through the transition. It is time, therefore, to show, with your permission, a special attention to this need urged by the Afghan authorities for national sovereignty and symbolically mark it, if you allow me, by asking that all of us today are here to facilitate, assist, and promote the transition to full ownership and leadership of the Afghans. Conclusion, with your permission, I know it is slightly irregular, but I think it is an important symbol. I would like to make a special request to you and to the members of the Security Council if my friend, Ambassador Tanin, could speak before me. Thank you.
如果大家没有意见的话，我准备接受斯密图拉先生的意见，请塔宁大使先发言。塔宁大使，请你发言。
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. de Mistura. I was expecting to listen to you first, but you're very kind to me, kind to my country. And my country and the leadership of Afghanistan admire your role there, your leadership. And we benefit from your leadership as a leading international coordinator in Afghanistan, here in New York also. Thank you. Mr. President, at the outset, I congratulate you for assuming the presidency of the Council this month. I also wish to thank the Secretary General for his report on the situation in Afghanistan and extend a warm welcome back to the Council to my good friend, Special Representative Stephen de Mistura. I also take this opportunity to express deepest sympathies on behalf of the government and people of Afghanistan to the people and government of Japan for the tragic loss of life and destruction from the earthquake and tsunami this past week. We stand beside the friendly peoples of Japan as they recover from that tragedy. Mr. President, as we come together to discuss the situation in Afghanistan, the country embarks on transition to full Afghan sovereignty, national ownership, and leadership in an effort to realize the noble vision of a secure, democratic, and prosperous nation, one that is able to meet the needs of its citizens independently. We in Afghanistan know that transition is no easy task, but achievable with our determination in unity and the sincere support and commitment of the international community. The logic of transition will guide the way forward over the next 4 years. During this time, Afghanistan is determined to assume full responsibility at all levels in order to provide Afghans with security, opportunities for social and economic progress, and the benefits of a society governed by the rule of law. Mr. President, the role of the international community in supporting the transition will remain essential for our success. In London, Kabul, and Lisbon, the international community endorsed and committed to supporting the transition towards Afghan ownership and leadership. Over the next 4 years, the international community's role in Afghanistan will revolve around the needs and requirements of the transition process. Mr. President, today's meeting comes on the eve of renewal of UNAMA's mandate. As the lead international civilian coordinator, the role of the United Nations in Afghanistan over the transition period and beyond will remain crucial. We convey our appreciations for the resolute commitment of all UN staff working under difficult conditions to help meet the aspiration of Afghan people. As we prepare to officially commence the transition process on 21st of March, we look to the UN as a key partner in the way forward. Mr. President, Afghanistan cannot stand on its own feet if its state institutions remain weak and undermined by various parallel structures, and if its capacity is not strengthened. So, Mr. President, securing Afghanistan is first and foremost about Afghan ownership and leadership, about taking responsibility, and about operating effectively to achieve sustainable progress. This is our ultimate goal to which we are firmly committed. In the past weeks, we have been engaged in discussions about how UNAMA's mandate should evolve in the light of transition. In that regard, on the 1st of March, the Foreign Minister of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, His Excellency Dr. Zalmay Rasool, sent a letter to the Secretary General on behalf of the government of Afghanistan, in which he underscored 3 main requests. First, a comprehensive review of the UNAMA mandate and the role of the United Nations in Afghanistan to be conducted in consultation with relevant stakeholders within the next 6 months. In subsequent weeks, we have agreed that such a review will be done before the Bonn Conference at the end of 2011. Second, greater coherence, coordination, and efficiency in the work of the UN funds, programs, and agencies operating in Afghanistan towards one United Nations. Such an approach, bringing each of the UN's entities together in synergy, is necessary for an efficient and successful transition in the country. And third, a reshaping of this year's UNAMA's mandate around the transition. To this end, Mr. President, the government of Afghanistan proposed the following adjustments to the mandate. First, transition must be the central focus of UNAMA. A UN mandate that is centered on transition objectives would facilitate a smooth shift to Afghan ownership and leadership. The underlying imperative to transition full responsibility for security, governance, and development to Afghan leadership by the end of 2014 should guide the work of UNAMA and the SRSG. Second, emphasis must be placed on UNAMA's responsibility as the co-chair of the Joint Coordination and Monitoring Board, GCMB, to promote coherence in the international community's support for the Afghan-defined and Afghan-led development strategy. Third, we stress the need to increasingly channel aid through the Afghan budget and align it with our Afghan National Priority Program. We are convinced that this will lead to more effective and efficient utilization of development assistance. Fourth, UNAMA plays a crucial role in improving civil-military coordination with ISAF. This role, however, should be recalibrated to reflect the aim of the transition process in order to support Afghan-led stabilization efforts. Fifth, national ownership of the reintegration and reconciliation process is necessary. We are reaching out to all Afghans who are willing to renounce violence and join the peace process. The peace and reconciliation process is Afghan-led and could benefit from the support and good offices of UNAMA if requested by the Afghan government. Sixth, the Afghan government must have ownership of the election process based on the clear requirements of the Afghan constitution and principle of Afghan sovereignty. In line with the Kabul and London communique, the government of Afghanistan is fully committed to electoral reform as a measure to ensure sustainability for the democratic process, one which is national in nature and should be addressed by the citizens of Afghanistan. We welcome the availability of UNAMA in helping with capacity building and technical assistance for electoral law if requested by the government of Afghanistan. Last year's elections in Afghanistan cost hundreds of millions of dollars, a cost which is not sustainable for an Afghan-led democratic process over time. The election process in Afghanistan must be effective and sustainable. This is only possible through Afghan ownership. Seventh, a reassessment of UNAMA's work throughout the country is necessary. With the presence of UNAMA's offices in 8 regional, while the presence of the UNAMA's offices in 8 regional zones remains important, the number, location, and terms of reference of UNAMA's offices in other provinces should be looked at within the comprehensive mandate review. This will help encourage Afghan institutions to end the culture of dependency, avoid unnecessary security risks for UNAMA's staff, and streamline funding for the relevant UN agencies in the country. 8, UNAMA's role in supporting the efforts to enhance governance and rule of law would be achieved best through strengthening the efforts of the government of Afghanistan in accordance with the Kabul process. This is why we request that all efforts be made towards strengthening the Afghan government's capacity. 9th, the coordinating role of UNAMA in delivering humanitarian assistance in accordance with humanitarian principles is crucial. However, in the way forward, the focus must be on strengthening the central coordinating role of the government of Afghanistan, consistent with the goal of Afghan ownership. Mr. President, the realization of our requests will not only facilitate a more efficient UN in years to come, but also a government functioning with greater confidence in its ability to become self-reliant. 10 years after the Bonn Conference, Afghanistan is adamant in its decision to take responsibility for its country and people. This is a process that will not happen overnight, but over time. Throughout the 4-year transition to Afghan leadership and ownership, and beyond, the enduring partnership between Afghanistan and the international community, the United Nations and other partners will remain crucial. The transition is not an end to relations between Afghanistan and the international community, but the beginning of a new chapter in an evolving partnership. Mr. President, we must end the war and violence in Afghanistan. The time has come to ensure that Afghans have the chance to live in peace, free from the threat of violence and suffering endured for many years. The war against terrorism will not be won without the confidence and support of the Afghan people. While most of the civilian casualties are caused by the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, incidents of loss of innocent life during military operations have increased. However, our moral obligations place a heavy burden on us to make the protection of civilian lives priority number one. Civilian casualties must end, and additional measures must be taken to prevent harm to civilians. We all have come to realize that war and violence cannot be ended through military means alone. This is why we continue to reach out to all those who want to join the peace process. The support of the international community and our enduring partnership is essential for this process and for success in Afghanistan. Afghans are determined to work towards their own destiny. Let us renew our efforts to achieve peace and prosperity in the country through the transition and beyond. I thank you.
感谢塔宁大使的发言。我现在请德米斯图拉先生发言。